See.
Thank you. Thank you. Great to be here. So I'll take this. All right. Good morning, everyone. So Asim asked me to come here and talk a little bit about Mappilary and how we're mapping the world with the help of images. And so first, a couple of basics. So Mappilary is a platform for extracting map data from street-level imagery using computer vision, which is my background. I've been working in computer vision for about 2 decades. So what this means is that people contribute images from all over the world, and currently we just passed 300 million images on the platform from people like you, from cities, from governments, from companies that need spatial data. And from these images, we have machine-generated 25 billion map objects that are all available on the website for people to use. And so the images, they look something like this. So here you can go and explore a Greek island if you want. But more importantly, from these images, we extract information. So we label all of the pixels in all of these 300 million images using something called semantic segmentation. We do traffic sign recognition. We build 3D models of every place, including that little Greek island thing you saw there. And we position all of the objects that we find in the images and turn that into map data. So these are the 25 billion I just mentioned. And we make this available to everyone. This data is, you can see it on our website. This is actually a screenshot from our website. You can use the APIs and integrate it into whatever solution you want. And our philosophy here is to achieve scale when it comes to building maps and updating and fixing maps, you need to go beyond the standard approaches of today. And so today, you're probably familiar with the Google Street View car, where there's a big camera rig on top of a vehicle driving around. So what most people don't know is that all of the other companies are doing this too. They're just not publishing the images. So a fundamental building block for building that initial map and then keeping it fresh and updated is collecting imagery. But collecting imagery with these mapping vans is incredibly expensive and it's very slow. So if you want to go beyond what you can do with that, you can just use whatever people have in their pockets or in their handbags. So if you open it up to any device, which to a large degree means smartphones, but also action cameras, dash cameras, whatever camera you have out there that's able to collect imagery. What we do then is we combine it together. So there's a collaborative model behind Mappilary where you contribute some images, everyone else chips in, the city might contribute some imagery, the government might contribute some imagery, and we put them all in one common representation. And then you can use it for any map. So we didn't actually know this when we started. So we thought, well, okay, let's generate map data. It's probably useful for the mapping companies. But over this 4 years since we launched the service, we've understood that it's a fundamental and global problem. And it applies to town levels, like small cities, small towns, anywhere in the world. They are actually hiring these mobile mapping companies to come and collect imagery to do manual inventory of things for them. This is a completely, it's slow and it's super expensive. And for small towns, they can solve it themselves. All it takes is one person and a phone, and they can collect all the imagery and generate all the data they need to solve their problems. So the green lines here on the map is actually, it's the coverage on the platform, in case that wasn't obvious. It's also true on city level, where you do city planning, you do inventory of all of their assets. And in many cities, we have complete coverage both from the city side, but also from the citizen side. So there's a grassroots initiative where they try to solve things like biking infrastructure, accessibility, and then the city and the engineers from the city side is trying to do inventory and figure out where all their things are. It's also true on a state and Department of Transportation level, where from this map you can probably guess which 2 US DOTs are working on the platform. They have lots of imagery, but they don't know what's in them. And they need to find out where all their things are. They need to know where our guardrails, our signage, our potholes, things like that. But this can be machine generated. So all you have to do is you need to send the imagery through a backend that can extract that type of information. It's true on a national level, and then also for the global mapping providers. And the thing is, we care about fixing all of these, and the solution to fixing them is to connect all of the players, from the individuals to the activist groups, to the cities, all the way up to the international mapping companies. And so if you want to map this, like take this 300 million to the next level, how do you do that? So right now, this is just, all of that content is contributed organically. Whoever wants to participate, they will do that for whatever reason they have. But you can actually try to take it to another level above that, where, because a lot of the imagery is coming from smartphones, and smartphones are very suitable for tasking. So you know this from your Uber driver, where they don't have to know anything about getting from A to B, but the app will tell them how to do it. So there is a tasking system where you can go in and say, we have demand here. We need images in this part of town because there's going to be a construction project. Or we need to do inventory of our signage in this part of town next month. Can you please help us take some images? So this is what we have today. And actually this morning, Mappillary for Organizations, which is a new feature on the platform, went live, which lets anyone create an organization and track areas of interest. So if you're interested in a part of town, or if you're interested in a city or in any area, you can go in and you can subscribe to, you can easily see what data is there, and you can subscribe to it. So you can see whenever new things are found in the areas that you care about. And the next logical step to that is to hook it up with a solution that lets you fill in the gaps and tell people where to go to collect the data that you need. So the tasks and this is something that will go live shortly. The tasks that you push into the tasking system can be picked up by, for example, your staff, your drivers, or if you have access to vehicles. Then they can go out and you can have a fully distributed on-demand solution. When you need imagery in some part of town, you can actually guide people to go there and take those images. And then that data will be machine generated and flow directly into whatever, let's say, asset inventory system you're using. And the natural extension of this is, of course, to connect everyone that has an interest of collecting imagery and everyone that has a demand to use that imagery or to use the data generated from that imagery across all of these industries. So we're going to create an open API and on top of this platform so that anyone who needs imagery or data anywhere can have any fleet, any delivery service, any Uber driver, if you want, to on-demand collect that data for them. And then they can have monetary transactions between them. So that was the short summary about what we do. The key pillars, we think, to mapping the world are collaboration, because everyone is trying to solve the same problem using the same unscalable tools. So let's do it together. And then machine generate. You need computer vision to generate this data at scale. And so that's it. Thank you very much for your time.